when we place our lives into the hands of Jesus, He blesses us, breaks us, and gives us to the world around us. He gives us a love for those around us because of His love for us. And even while we were yet sinners, Christ loved us. Our lives of witness towards others is based more in our love for Jesus than it is in our love for Him. This is Lakewood Church of the Ozarks, a Spirit-filled, Bible-believing church for the entire family. What does it mean to be given to the world around us? Luke 24 tells us that on the road to Emmaus, two disciples, they were disappointed. They were hiding their tears. Unable to quench the fire of this disappointment, they turned on each other and they began to argue and debate about the Messiah. And at that moment, Jesus Himself arrives and joined them on their journey. Jesus joined them in their disappointment, in their disillusionment, in this journey. He didn't say to them, "Come over here," or "Come to me," or "Come follow me." No, that was all well and fine the first time He called them, but not this time. Not when their faith had been shattered, not when their hopes had been lost. No, when we are too weak, when we are too broken to come to Jesus, He comes to us. He Himself joins us on the journey. Like Jesus coming alongside His disciples who are disillusioned, we need to walk gently into the spaces where the de-churched and the post-Christians have gone. We need to listen and learn and then enter into their place of pain, enter into their communities. Jesus joined Himself as the culmination of God's saving story. After asking them what they were talking about and then acting as if He had no idea of the events that had happened in Jerusalem over the past 3 days, Jesus began to explain to them from the law and the prophets how it had been prophesied that the Messiah would have to suffer and then be raised up again. They had been reading the scriptures all wrong. Before they could recover from this paradigm shift, Jesus went on to the other. He showed them how the scriptures spoke of Him. We have to find a way to tell the world its own story, to retell the story of scriptures in a more beautiful, Christ-centered way, the way Jesus did. Jesus demonstrated a kind of radical hospitality towards these disciples. You see, Jesus being a stranger to them, He then accepts their offer to stay with them and to eat with them. Then He, as the stranger, He did something even stranger. Jesus, the guest, started acting more like the host. When they sat at the table, Jesus, He took the bread and He blessed it, giving thanks. And in Jewish culture, the host always says the blessing. The guest never says the blessing. Yet here was this stranger talking as if the scriptures were about Him and acting as if this meal were His meal to bless. Luke records this action in a very deliberate way, using the same set of sequences as the Passover, the last time Jesus took bread, and feeding the 5,000. Jesus took the bread and He blessed it and He broke it and He gave it to them. And the very next thing Luke tells us is this: their eyes were opened and they recognized Jesus. In an age when belief is contested, when religion is a private matter, like Jesus, acting as host of a meal that was not His, we can find a way to reach out to those in the world and stand in the midst of their questions and pain and their disappointment and fear. We can take bread, bless it, and break it and give it to them. We ourselves can become the bread that is blessed, broken, and given for them, for their lives. Yes, even for the life of the world. Let's prepare our hearts for communion today as we pray that God would use us in a deeper way to reach the world around us. When we reach out to them in love because He first loved us. Dear Jesus, help us to reach the world around us in love and be the bread that is blessed by You. This is Pastor Cecil W. Todd of Lakewood Church of the Ozarks in Branson, West Missouri, a Spirit-filled, Bible-believing church for the entire family.